back to the channel, everybody. It has been quite a while, and if you will have seen the post from a while back, I made an update that I'll be taking a bit of a break over summer, and we won't be having videos come as consistently. But me and Tony have been doing something in the background here on the race car, Project Snake Charmer, and I got some updates for what we have done with it already. In a minute we're going to go walk outside. It's a car that I don't have room for in here, and we finally have it back at my shop here. And some of you won't have seen this build, and you can go back and check that out. But it's essentially a race car from the parts car from this, plus something else that Tony has bought for propulsion for that car. But summer's been spent with been riding a ton of bikes. You can see more bike projects in the works here. That's my other passion. This is on hold for the duration of summer because I'm an outdoors person. Winter time when the snow's out, I want to be in here, right? So bikes are happening. I got this sweet 1991 Rocky Mountain Hammer. It is super original. I put that thing back together. I've got a Hammer race here, about a 97 model year. I'm not sure if it's in the frame. Over there we got a Diamondback with some super sweet vintage parts. And you guys probably mostly know Project Judithan over here. But we won't be getting into a lot of these. That's just what I've got going. We actually weren't going to do anything with the race car this summer because I was supposed to have the engine done for this. It's sitting on a stand right now because I've waited for valves all summer and finally got some. It is at this moment being worked on, all the machine work for the head now that he has the valves finally. Some things just take a while. Apparently it takes 2 years to do machine work on an engine. I've picked it up, I've brought it to a new place. Those are quick updates, you know. I'm enjoying summer and I'm actually enjoying making less videos. Sorry to those of you who like watching them, but I'm enjoying the freedom of spending time with family and whatnot. So let's do a little quick walk around here and then we'll go take a look at the race car. So yeah, you'll see some stuff coming. Probably, we'll say. This is a box of parts for a really sweet bike I'm building with the wheels for it. I picked this up from one of my good friends who owns a bike shop 2 hours from here where we do all our camping. This thing is a really sweet Rocky Mountain. I'm waiting right now for a couple weeks on the Dart and Smoke tires by Panaracer. It's got to be correct. I decided not to modify it because look how mint this thing is, guys. Bike station is now here to build bikes for summer. This goes away for winter storage in a couple weeks. Transmission's done. I filmed it. I'm not sure if we'll see that. Me and my dad did a late night adventure picking up this sweet Diamondback. But check it out. 3DV stuff. Purple anodized. I love retro bikes. Tires came in the mail from the UK recently. I picked up this Hammer race frame, so we'll do something fun with that. But probably not this year because I spent a lot of money on bikes already. That's what this one is coming. We're definitely going to make a video about that because I'm excited. Quick walk by on the Celica here for those of you who haven't seen it. There's no engine in it at this moment, but you can see it's gathering some dust. Nature of the beast while it sits waiting for things to get done. Interior, go ahead and watch those videos. This has been a 7-ish, maybe 9-ish year labor of love. I've done all the work on this myself. Tony is teaching me how to build an engine. We got one in here with the rotating assembly is in there. All the parts here, they're ready to go on. I've got some neat stuff going on here. It's all waiting for the cylinder head to come back. That may be part of our winter series. More parts for the Celica in here. And if you haven't seen the build on this guy, this is what the floor started like. And the rear tub I have built from scratch. Not a lot you can see there, but yeah. So you've had a quick overview of project type stuff. I actually haven't been in the shop a lot this summer. Camping is fun and mountain biking is fun. But let's go outside, guys. I will show you what we got at the house again. A lot of you will know this car and probably a bunch of you won't. Let's go check it out. I figured today it's hot, one of the last probably warm days. But this is Project Snake Charmer. Tony likes Mini Cobra because we got some stuff in here that gives a Cobra feel on the inside. I will give a quick overview on it because this is what today's video is about. This next bit will be short and sweet, but 2015 Mustang rear end sitting in here, 14 inches wider than the factory one, so I've started out on widening the rear quarters. This spoiler was supposed to go on the blue car, but it didn't because it didn't suit it, but it suits this one. We got unicorn power, guys, powered by unicorns. Taillights were made from scratch because I sold the extra. This, as I said, this was a parts car. Nothing is designed pretty on here. It is designed for function, and I would love to composite it, but the more I'm driving it, the more I realize actually I kind of like it rough around the edges. So I've done a really rough widening of the front. Arches aren't on here because we are not going to stay with these Mustang wheels. This spoiler, they sent me the wrong one from Toy Sport. And it was supposed to go on the blue car. And he said, keep it, I'll send you another. And my condolences to the family as he is now passed this year. And so that's a little bit extra special to these parts. But I've made... This is for the flat nose, and we got a slant nose. I made that work. The nose is stretched on this thing this much. What was that, 1.5 inches? And then up front, we have a Miata subframe. And we're running a big brake kit up front there by, is it Stop Tech or Power Stop? I can't remember. Tony ordered that. I also wanted taller rockers. So the rockers are taller than factory, with side exit exhaust. Comes through here. Tony said, don't throw on the Sleeka badges. I'm not a Toyota guy, but we can throw the Dragon. So that works. Plus it keeps people guessing. Most people don't know what this is around here. See if we can get an under the car shot. So if you're looking underneath here, aluminum fuel tank we had made by a local guy, and full 2015 Mustang independent suspension. Still got the helmet in there for race day. 2015 Mustang dash shortened. It helps with the 2015 Mustang wiring harness. Everything's where it needs to be. We put in the tilt steering from that car. And these are Mazda Speed seats. We got those acquired by sitting in all the seats we liked at an auto wrecker, and that had a little bit of bolstering on them. They're good. This seat is fixed here. That seat's adjustable, lumbar and recline. It's got to be adjustable this way too because Tony and I are very different heights. You can see here, not very well, but Mustang floor and subframe were added here. And then I scratch built the trunk and the taillights. Tunnel, floor, frame, that's something done as well. Yeah, this car was rusted out and shot. So if you're a purist, I'm sorry, but I was not bringing it back to stock. There was not a lot left to save. Oh, and we got plastic windows because we've added 3-point belts. This is a very quick review, guys. We needed a better shifter. Tony was willing to give up a chisel, and we made that in the handle. That improved it greatly. You are sitting way back. As you can see where this seat is, normally the seats are here because engine's 18 inches back. Front wheels are moved forward 1.5 inches. So relay engine ends about here. We'll open up the hood here in a sec. I've stretched the hood a bit, but the front of this thing is its stock location where the lights sit, but the whole front of the car is moved forward, and it actually adds quite a menacing thing. I'll throw in a night shot here that I took of it. So let's look at underneath here. Got hood pins holding this down. Check out the Unicorn power. All right, come on in here, guys. Here is, I will not take any credit for this. It's all Tony. Maybe we got better lighting here. But 2.3 2015 Mustang EcoBoost and 6-speed. Moved back 18 inches. So if you get the front of the engine here, a lot of guys are saying, is that a rotary? Nope, 2.34. This is Miata front subframe, and the top of the strut tower is made on the frame that three of us guys, Bob, Tony, and I, have designed. Tony did flex, intercooler, and radiator. It's bigger. He had the parts on hand, and everything was done on a budget to make it work. Yeah, so the goal was, he had the engine, I had the rusted out hulk of a Celica, and the goal was to build something on the cheap. We doubled our budget. We're at like 11 grand Canadian now instead of the 5 we were aiming for as light as possible. The thing weighs in at 2,500 pounds instead of the 2,000 we were aiming for, but it's working right now. The car works very well. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit, what we've been up to. All the videos on the intro to the car that I just gave you here, we have build videos on it. You can go check it out. I think there's a playlist on it. I don't remember what it's called, but we weren't going to touch this car this summer. What we ended up doing was we put it away. I said to Tony, and he agreed, let's not work on it this year. Let's get my engine done for mine and projects for him. He's building a new shop for Badger Automotive Repair is his business, and I believe I'm saying that right. Sorry if I get that wrong, Tony. Out in southern Manitoba here. And so me and him, we've had our friends help. Bob's done, you've seen Bob on the channel in the early days. He's helped me figure out a lot of chassis stuff in here. We built this car. It's combined parts, done on a budget. You know, I would look at it as building a modern 32 Ford hot rod. You put on there what works, and you have a purpose for building it to go fast, right? So the EcoBoost sitting in there, we could have done this way simpler by putting the motor in the right spot, running factory drive shaft, blowing it up the small Toyota rear end, but we didn't. We sat there, looked at it for a while, said easy way or hard way, with the engine sitting in the right spot. Said hard way, cut the firewall out, threw that engine backwards, and the rest is history on the channel. So this summer, first thing we did about a month ago, start of August I would say, I said, Tony, we're not gonna have my engine done. So we ended up, we'll throw some pictures up in here. I have more pictures and video because I've been caring less about filming and just enjoying life. We got the car, we finalized getting it road legal, putting on all the extra bits to make it legal. Then what we did was, I said I want to take it to the car show. Morden Corn and Apple Festival car show is my favorite one. It's a big one, and me, Tony, and Bob were there hanging out with and Tony and I had our boys there, and we got to talk to a ton of people. Like, I could almost not get away. We finally just made the decision, because like any given point you had 5 people surrounding this car, and we're talking, having good times. Got to catch up with friends who haven't seen it, stuff like that. I got a picture I can throw in there of the crowd, typical crowd that's around there. It's very much similar experience to bringing a rusted out Land Cruiser last year, which I enjoyed. But you get to hear stories, you get to share about the build, and a lot of guys are saying, we did the right thing, they loved it, this is their favorite car at the show. So that surprised me. We did that car show. I raced my dad on the way there with his 70 Nova by accident, and I assumed he would blow the doors off of us, but we kept even with him. His car's not slow, by the way.
Well, that's why it needs to get tuned tomorrow.
I love how you can always hear the turbo.
That's awesome.
All right, we'll switch up views here. Border City Performance. Marcel tuned it. And Tony had texted me, said I want him to do. I told him I don't want a safe tune on it. I want to make power, and we worked at that. Because the car is 500 pounds heavier than we wanted. Here's a little video clip, by the way, of the car rolling out of Marcel's shop. He gets the right gear, and then it just quiets right down.
Yeah. Love that turbo whistle too.
And all the time.
Oh yeah.
It makes me giggle like nonstop.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think it would. Yeah. And then I got into good conversation with Marcel about project stuff, and I missed Tony driving away. Sorry guys, but that's it. Leaving the shop. So back to this. Tony said, make power for us. So that's what he did. He upped the boost a bit. I have noticed mid-range performance on this thing, it pulls hard. We'll get into that in a second. But it'll do almost 100 kilometers an hour, about 60 miles an hour in second gear. And that's actually really good. We could use, after racing, we could use a little bit more. We found I could probably use it up to 110, 120 kilometers an hour coming into the finish line on the race we took it to this weekend. But yeah, he did an awesome job. The performance, it hauls a lot better. It's a lot less disappointing than what we anticipated before tuning. So thank you very much, Marcel. Awesome work. We thought at this point we need a bigger turbo because 500 horsepower, right? It would be awesome. But we took it to the race. That was this weekend with the Winnipeg Sports Car Club. I haven't raced since the one event I did in 2020, but 6 or 7 years of consistent autocross racing before that. I thought I would be rusty, which I was first half of that first run, but it all came back to me very fast. Basically, first is useless. You blow the tires off of it. Second gear, you put it in there, you rev it up a bit more, and you launch hard. And Tony said I can run it off the rev limiter. So coming into finish line, I was bouncing rev limiter quite a bit. No problem. It burns oil. That's something got damaged in the accident, but we'll just keep an eye on the oil level. So check out this run. We'll put that in here now. Tony, actually, thank you, Tony. He threw in a clip of me doing one of my runs. Okay, so that's the run, and I had a blast. The funnest thing I've driven. Braking and accelerator pedal are too close. We got to widen those out. We'd like to do a different differential, a lightweight aluminum one, lighten up our drive shaft, a couple other small things. But when you come into a hairpin, if you're not careful, you will hit the accelerator and it will overshoot. So I did that a couple times, but if you get it right, it brakes almost well. We're running mechanical brakes without power assist. We wanted to aim for that, see if we could do it, keep it simple. You brake hard, you get in the right spot, and then you just steer the corner. It rails the hairpins like tight. With the Mustang Mach 1 I was driving with a full suspension, I couldn't use the power coming out of the corner. It would blow the tires off. This car, you come out of a hairpin, you mat it, it linearly makes power and pulls to the end. And then when I got to the slaloms, normally with the Mustang, it's on-off throttle to weight transfer to allow it to make those corners, even with the suspension. This car, you just give her medium to high power on the pedal, keep it there, and steer, it takes it. Like, we did it right without even weighing a thing on it. It makes the corners. We're not fastest there, but I can guarantee you we probably had the most fun, because this car is fun. It's rough around the edges. You don't care about the paintwork. That's where this car is at. That's what we did with it this summer. I'm hoping in a couple weeks to bring you guys a mountain biking video. I threw together, I've had a frame hanging in my shed. It's a clunker frame, and maybe we'll throw a picture up of it, the first mock-up and ride pictures before we took it on that first ride. But it's off at powder coating right now, so I'm waiting on a couple more bits to get that footage. But yeah, thank you if you've come back to watch after a summer of not having videos. I got lots of videos recorded, just I've kind of lost motivation for filming them, but I think we'll throw this one up there, and then maybe in a couple weeks we'll give you another one if I feel like putting it out there. But thanks again if you've subscribed, and just keep an eye out. We'll be here and there with some videos. I'll probably try and get this edited now tonight and tomorrow, and we'll throw it up sometime throughout the week. So I guess, like we say, as always, get in your shop, get your stuff done, because eventually you can have some fun with it. All right, talk to you later. Bye.